So, given the last video that we recorded together with the SABLEYE team, there was one team that stood out to me with the SABLEYE with the Bronzong and Eternatus. I feel like it looked a little bit weird, but at the same time, cool, you know what I mean? But the SABLEYE and the Ludicolo really stand out to me because I liked the idea of having the rain dance for sun teams, but also having an answer for Kyogre with the Ludi, because I feel like we'll be in control that way. And we have Grass Knot to deal with Ogre and Groudon, and ideally Oko them with the Life Orb plus Grass Knot, because they usually don't max, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, I really like that idea too from the last video that we recorded. I was really happy when you showed me this base actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I just had these two mons in mind, and now I was having this casual phone call with Charlie or Quintillo. How do you usually like being called by the way? I feel like I should just ask you this now.
I don't care, man.
You don't
can
care?
Use either one.
Alright. So, I was talking to Charlie about how I liked this combination, and then I basically just went off because I had this other Kyogre team I was working on, and I was thinking I would try Garchomp because I've used it in the past. You'll see right here, where recently in Series 11 I got top 5 in the world with this team, with this Garchomp spread, and I figured that I would retry it again because Charizard's really popular still, which I wasn't really expecting, but also Zacian's around obviously, so I mean it has multiple purposes because you outspeed Charizard with your speed, which you can kill with max rockfall, but it also has better bulk than Landorus, so you don't need to invest much to live Behemoth Blade, which is what I liked, and I don't need to worry about helping hand Behemoth Blade either to Garchomp because if I have Reflect set up with Grimmsnarl, then the Garchomp lives. I didn't think about this at the time because Garchomp was only the third member, but I figured this would be a cool addition to add to this because I already have my answer to Kyogre and Groudon for Ludicolo and SABLEYE to help set up those conditions depending on whether or not I'm dealing with a Sun team or Rain team. And that's where I had my original idea going. And another good thing about SABLEYE is, let's say I'm running against a Zac Ogre team, then I could Will Wisp the Zacian while I attack the Kyogre. With SABLEYE and Ludicolo, I get most of the Sun and Weather stuff done, basically just the Hoenn Legends, and, you know, stuff like Incineroar as well, but also Gastrodon because I like Gastrodon on my Sun team, so, I mean, Ludicolo responds to that, which is nice. And I also get a response to Landorus, especially because you can't fake out SABLEYE because it's Ghost type, and you can't stop the Prankster on it either with Prankster Taunt because of its Dark typing, so I could set up Rain Dance, Oko, Landorus pretty easily. I wanted a Venusaur answer because right now with what I currently have, I could do solid chip damage to it, but I can't get an Oko, for example, but Zacian can basically get the Oko that I want. And the thing is, no one's going to be leading Incineroar or Venusaur in most cases. I feel like people could probably just expect me to lead Zacian and they would probably just go Venudon, and then they would threaten with Weather Ball, right? But I could set up Rain Dance with the SABLEYE, and then I would outspeed the Venusaur and Oko it with Behemoth Blade, and Groudon can't Oko me because the thing with this spread is I calced it to live Precipice Blades from, I think it was Adamant Precipice Blades from Groudon. This is from Series 11 in terms of its bulk and spread, but it's still applicable, which is why I have it. But Zacian is basically safe, and I don't need to worry about a weird Heat Crash Groudon either, because with the rain being up, I'm immune to that, and I'll max take like 50%, because it has the damage of Fire-type moves and whatnot. So I think I'll be fine in that case. You know, you'll find occasional people who like using Calyrex Shadow and Kyurem White, and I figured that's what I'm still weak to, and that's where the Palkia comes in, because it's a Dragon-type Uber that does really solid amount of damage, but it's the only one that can actually outspeed the Kyurem White, and I'm in the middle of this EV spread right now that I'm still working on. I want a Salt Vest, I figured no matter if I have Lustrous Orb or Life Orb, Max Wormwind isn't going to KO the Kyurem, but with 100 special attack with Life Orb Kyurem, because that's how everyone likes running Kyurem, I figured that would go our Palkia. As long as we outspeed the Kyurem, we're basically going to be winning the war between our two Dynamaxes, if that makes sense. That's why I went with the 222 Timid spread, because max speed Kyurem is 161 speed, we're 162 speed, we outspeed it. I don't feel like there's any Palkia players going to be that specific right now with their own spread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, totally. I totally know what you're saying, man.
Alright, cool. And I'll just go into this Zacian because I'm in Picolytics right now. You should be able to see the screen. Right now, I'm going to get rid of this stuff and go into Timid. Because I'm curious with, yeah, you see, even with the Timid, with Light Ball, without the rain, and we Dynamax our own Palkia, we'll do a solid amount of damage, but with the rain up, we'll get that solid Oko into the Zacian. Well, hold on. Maybe not, because I forgot to put in the 252 HP, but, I mean, we still deal solid damage, so I think we should be fine. And I'll double check as well and see if we can live. They go for Draco Meteor, right? I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright. Oh wow, they actually don't Oko us, despite being the Timid. So maybe we actually go Modest then. What do you think? Modest? No, wait.
Yeah.
We can't go Modest, but we can change the item to like Lustrous Orb, so we're fine. Because we still have to go for Timid to outspeed the Kyurem.
I sent you a spread that I made that was I like Modest with AV.
Hold on.
Because I'm pretty sure you're just gonna live.
But we don't Oko. We're not going to be able to Oko the Kyurem White, which is what I was having trouble with. Because I want to outspeed and 2-hit KO it. Because if we end up going Modest, no matter where we're at, I don't think we're going to Oko it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I felt like 220 Timid would be better in that case. And we can do Lustrous Orb, because with SABLEYE and the Rain, for example, with the Rain Dance setup, I'll be able to just Oko the Zacian no issue. And then they can't do anything with their Kyogre if it's a Zac Ogre team, but I could always quash the Zacian and then Max Geyser into the Zacian as well, and then I shouldn't have to be at all worried about it. Let's see how much attack I will need. So just with Lustrous Orb and in the Rain, against a 252 HP, I keep forgetting to change that. How much special attack do I need before I can Oko? 156, so we do 156 Lustrous Orb. And that's what I need right now in terms of that. I think Palkia gets Earth Power, doesn't it? Yeah. Do you think that's good to have, or no?
The only reason I was saying Flamethrower is because Ferrothorn, but Earth Power you can definitely run for sure.
I like the idea of Flamethrower for Ferrothorn, but it's not that common. I feel like Earth Power is just better to hit steals, and also if I accidentally set up Rain Dance with SABLEYE, I won't be too punished for that later on with Palkia.
True. Do you prefer Ice Beam, Blizzard, or like Thunderbolts for the last move to hit Kyogre?
That is true. Let's do Thunder because we have the Rain Dance. Do you like Shiny Palkia or regular Palkia more? I'm digging the Shiny in this spread right now, or in this like team builder.
Yeah, I like Palkia Shiny.
You like Shiny? Alright, we'll do that then. And if we were doing Life Orb, this would be really simple. But I don't have that on me right now. What should I be worried for? Is there anything I really need a calc for? Oh shit! I had Draco Meteor on Kyurem White with the Life Orb, but I completely forgot to Dynamax it, I think. So this could change things now. Let's see.
I see.
It's fine. I think we'll still be good. But we shall see. Oh, we still live. That's
Yeah.
funny. But we have 252 HP, so let's see how much I need. Two.
Yo, real quick.
Yeah.
I just had to delete some of my old emails with old videos so I can make storage.
Yeah, it's fine. No worries.
Okay.
So we still run the risk of getting KO'd. Let's see what happens if I did like 4 HP. One thing to think about whenever you're making spreads for people watching is if you have multiples of 16, you'll get more recovery out of stuff like leftovers, but grassy terrain is basically leftovers, so if you're in a match where you're against other Rillabooms, I feel like you'd be better off with this spread because you're basically taking advantage of the grassy terrain they're providing for you. And that's why I'm going with this number right now. 1d4 defense here, not 40. And then I feel like I might be able to live. No. So maybe what I could end up doing is I could go 108. Because I think that's the number 9. And I'll actually do Life Orb. Because we could do Life Orb instead on the Palkia and get it off the Ludicolo. So we'll see how much this does to us. Or how much this does in the rain. Yeah, with the Life Orb we need significantly less. Still have to do 252 HP because I keep forgetting that. But we're solid on just 20 special attack. So now we should be able to live the Kyurem White with their Draco Meteor. And Dynamax it. So I feel like we can just finish off whatever I need in terms of special defense bulk. I still have leftovers, so I think what I'm going to do with this 66 is actually take out all this special attack, put this at 12, and let's see if I can bring it up to a different 9. I'll go to 189, because you know how with Life Orb Chip you take a little bit less when the number ends with 9, right, Cantillo?
Yeah, of course, because recoil truncates.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm going to go with this instead, because that way with more HP, I can live physical hits better as well, and I don't need to hyper focus on the special side, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Here we have 20 special defense, and that is enough to live the Kyurem White, but I'm thinking we might as well just go with 28 special defense investment, because that way we'll take advantage of our Max Quake, because whenever stats get raised, it'll go up with a 1.5 multiplier, so it's typically better to have your stats conscious of that. So if I have a mon that uses Max Quake with the 144, so 144 times 1.5, I get 216 as my new special defense number whenever I get that boost, versus what would be 143 times 1.5. I forgot to put the X there. I'll just redo it. X or times 1.5. Alright. So we basically, you see how that makes a difference, because you get 216 versus 214.5, but what you have to realize in Pokemon, for anyone who doesn't know this, is any decimal number, it never rounds up, it always goes down. So you're basically getting 2 extra stats in your special defense.
Yeah, I feel like knowing that those stats truncate, I feel like that's definitely very important.
I don't want to drag on all and over, because I'm really going in depth with this Palkia spread, and I don't want to go out of my way and just get you bored, you know?
No, I think what you're doing is great, man.
Alright, cool.
Do you have the page sent to me?
I'm still working through it, but I think this is good for right now, because I don't have any defensive calcs in mind for what Palkia could potentially live. Actually, I guess we could see if it could live a play rough from Zacian, because maybe that's something we need to look into, you know? Because I remember James Bayek using Palkia, and he mentioned how some Zacian can OHKO Palkia. I don't remember what his spread was, but it's something to keep in mind. Let's say Adamant. Okay, with all the bulk that we have, our Dynamax Palkia is still going to be living play rough from a max attack Adamant Zacian, so we have nothing to worry about. I'm fine with this spread as is right now. I think this is a good Palkia spread. And Zacian spread, just to explain that real quick, this number outspeeds Thundurus because max speed Jolly Thundurus is going to be 180 speed, so this just speeds it. Some people are going to have this in mind with their own Zacian spread, so sometimes people will go 108, 116 just to outspeed these other Zacians, but I feel like it's just best to not overcomplicate it for yourself and just go with what you personally intend it to be, if that makes sense. Because I know people like to speed creep, but if you can't afford it or you want to invest in other stats, I feel like just prioritize that over stats first, and if you have extra, then sure, invest it into like speed creeping matters rather than your offense or bulk.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm the kind of person that definitely does speed creep things all the time. So I'm not the best person to ask on this matter if you're trying to recommend staying away from that.
It's fine. It really is just personal preference, because a lot of what goes into team building is just your own opinion. But I figured I may as well state what I was thinking. So I forgot to change this to Life Orb Palkia. And what do you think the Ludi should be in this case? Should it be Assault Vest now? May as well, right?
I like Assault Vest Ludi better than the other sets.
Alright.
And if you want to like invest in making it more support, you could run Icy Wind instead of Ice Beam.
That's true. I don't think that's needed though, just because we have the bulk with Screen Scrim, Snarl, and Quash. But that's something to consider. Let's just go with this right now. If I wanted to go more in depth with the Ludicolo, I guess I could see if this could somehow live a max airstream from Thundurus when we're in base form. Non-Life Orb Thundurus though. And maybe, I mean, there should be no reason Thundurus should OHKO us when we're maxed. I meant Tornadus, Max Tornadus when we're maxed. Maybe Thundurus would, so maybe it's worthwhile investing into some defense with our Ludicolo. But I don't think it's too much of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that you could go either way. Personally.
Yeah, for sure. Should we do Modest or Timid? Because with Timid, we could go for 126 as our number, and that way we don't get outsped by a max 100 Mon, for example, using Airstream on us. Do you care too much about that, or do you think that's just getting too focused on numbers right now?
I'm sorry, can you repeat it again? Sorry, I missed that.
So, with Ludicolo, 252 Modest is only 122 speed. If we go 126 speed on our Ludicolo, though, like, let's say Varena's up, right?
Yeah, I like that better.
And we have our double speed. If a base 100 were to use max Airstream, then they would then outspeed us the following turn, assuming that their max speed, base 100 speed stat. So, if we went with this Timid, and we go down to 126 here, then we would still outspeed a base 100 the following turn, if that makes sense. Do you think we should go for that instead, or no?
Yeah, I think that's worth considering.
Alright, let's just do that for now, and I'll go with this HP stat, and we'll just go from there. Because I don't want to get too into team building. If this team ends up performing well on ladder, then we shall continue updating this team, but right now this will just be a test run. I'll get rid of these other tabs that I had open. But for viewers watching, hopefully you appreciated that Palkia spread and how I'm considering the other spreads like Ludicolo and what I did to previous spreads with Zacian and whatnot. So that's what I have currently with the Pokepaste Cantillo. I just sent it to you through Discord. to go through
nice.
the Garchomp spread real quick, I'll just mention it. So, when we're Dynamax, Behemoth Blade's going to do more to Garchomp than Play Rough is, just because Garchomp is a chat, I guess. It takes Play Rough well, but Palkia can't take Play Rough as well. So, with this spread, you're going to be able to live Behemoth Blade from Zacian, which is going to be, I believe it's 252 Jollies, what I calced for when I was doing it in Series 11, but it could also be 156 Adamant, because that's the common bump number Zacians will usually go for. And then the speed, I just think it's best to have 252 speed, because you got speed base 100s. If you wanted, you could go 244 technically, because that allows you to outspeed the base 100s like you're using Garchomp for. But in the off chance you just happen to face other Garchomps, I figure you may as well go for speed ties with the 252, because I don't see any other reason to invest other than potentially putting the 8 into its attack, but I don't think that's really going to do too much. And that's simply just what the Garchomp spread does. Can we do these games for your account? I forgot to actually update the SABLEYE spread real quick, so I can do that right now. So
yeah, sure. My account.
With the numbers that I'm typing in right now, if I recall correctly, what this does is it will live a 252 Scald from a Mystic Water Modest Kyogre, which is what I've been using this spread for. Since we have Will-O-Wisp, I feel like it's better to go for a Calm Nature Sableye than a Bold Nature Sableye. The only reason I feel like you'd want to go Bold is maybe just to help you take multiple Grassy Glides from Rillaboom, like make it a 3-hit KO, if that makes sense, rather than a 2-hit KO. But I feel like this spread makes more logical sense. So let me actually reset this spread to you, Cantillo, and then we'll finally hop into some games.